Jacqueline brings 8 balloons representing Karen's citations, but Jacqueline wrote a citation of her own that she can't cash with Karen. She gets the boot. Let's talk about the recap from Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 12. So we pick up with Jacqueline with the 8 heart balloons that represent each one of Karen's charges. And that's how we're going to start this episode. Ray has to usher Jacqueline out. And Karen was like, don't you be putting your arm around that girl. And before that, Karen lets Jacqueline know that she ain't having it. She got to go. And she is trespassing. Mia tries to come over and say, Jacqueline is showing up in love. Karen says, get the F up out of here. Mia trying to convince her that she's coming with love, and Karen is not having it. So Mia walks Jacqueline out, and Jackie's like, well, I'm not on her property anymore, so I can stand here. And then Mia's like, well, she doesn't even own it. She's renting it. So you can't get charged with trespassing if you're renting a property. Mia, you sound like a bumbleclaw idiot. First and foremost, you're the biggest idiot because you were in a rental property. I remember last year that you poured $60K into renovating, wasting your money, and you ended up having to move. So please, Mia with the big hands. Anyway, so after she walks Jacqueline out, she comes back in and she's trying to convince and smooth things over with Karen and saying that, she was coming in love. And she's just like, just cut it out. That's not why Jacqueline showed up here. She showed up here to try to have a moment and cause a scene, basically. So as everybody is walking to the table, it's a beautifully decorated table. They're going to go ahead and eat. Kiana is asking, everything has cheese in it. I guess she has a problem with cheese or whatever, so she can't eat the meal. And then Mia decides to get in the pool. Stacy decides to get in the pool. And Stacy is looking at Mia's butt. And she was like, it's just floating. How does it do that? So it ends on a good note. Now, everybody is getting ready to go to Panama. So they're panning to each household and basically discussing or packing up for the Panama trip. And it looks like it's going to be a goods girls trip. So they meet up at the airport. Jackie is there, Ashley is there, and then Karen arrives, and Karen gives Jacqueline dust. Absolute dust. Then Gizelle walks in, and Gizelle and Karen are having a conversation, and Giselle's like, we're going to have an OG check-in with Mia because she talked about my daughter and it wasn't time to talk about it at your last event, but I'm going to have to OG check Mia. I was like, oh shit, Gizelle, I'm with that because you shouldn't be talking about the kids like that for sure. The way that Mia came for her girls, it would be up for me and Mia for sure. And do you guys think that Gizelle was in the right to check Mia on this too? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And kindly turn on that notification bell so you're alerted the next time I drop a recap, okay? So, everyone else arrives. They get to Panama safe and sound. So Wendy they make it out. They get their luggage. They make it to the car. So in the car, the Sprinter van, excuse me. Wendy gives some announcements and she tells them about the resort. She tells them no one has to share rooms. There are 3 villas, but this is the bomb that she drops. It's going to be a 2-hour ride from the airport to the resort. And the ladies were not happy about that. So while they're on their way, Stacy brings up the fact that Kiana said that TJ and Stacy had a Christian kiss. And she feels like it's going from making fun of their relationship to ridicule. And Stacy's like, I don't know. What's wrong with a Christian kiss? What's wrong with a Christian kiss? And I'm like, why do you keep bringing up you and TJ's relationship, right? And then you're upset that people are seeing things that you yourself didn't see or ignoring. I don't get it. No one is buying this. You and TJ are in a relationship. So then Karen and Gizelle, they get pulled into it. And Karen just told her basically, I'm sorry, but I don't see it for you and TJ. And he's sending mixed signals. Because even there was a question that was supposedly asked about their relationship. And he said he doesn't see a relationship. So why are you mad at Karen and Gizelle? They just bringing it to the forefront. And and then Stacey goes on to say, well, I need to be divorced before I get into something new. Well, duh. So why don't you do that? You the one brought all of this up. Like, Stacey like to play clueless. I want Stacey to get them wigs together. That's what I want her to focus on. Getting them wigs together. Her confessional wigs are looking good. But while she's filming, she look a mess. So, whew, that took a lot out of me, guys. I'm just not buying the bullshit with Stacey and TJ. I'm just really not. I'm sorry. So then Ashley starts to gush over Josh. Wendy calls him Jack Harlow. And tells her she could do better than that. And I'm weak as hell. So Ashley said that Josh dropped her off at the airport. And I'm wondering, is that Ashley's car? No, it's not. No, it's not, because I think Ashley has an Audi. That was a Rover. Anyway, and she said that they had dinner last night. So Mia's like, oh, so he must have stayed the night then. I was like, ooh, she called it out. And she says she gave Josh some lingering feelings to think about while they're gone. And Ashley says it was really good. She says she feeling the way she used to feel about Michael. And she might be kind of sprung. So we get to the resort. They have like some dancers, some drinks, and all that stuff. Give a speech that they're happy to have them. They take them to the villas. Wendy passes out the keys. Wendy has Mia and Wendy in one villa, Karen and Jackie and Ashley in another, and then Gizelle and somebody else, child, I can't remember. Giselle and Stacey in another. Oh yes, Mia, Kiana, and Wendy in the first villa. Karen, Ashley, and Jacqueline in the other one. And I'm like, Wendy, why would you do that? You know they're not getting along. But Wendy says she intentionally did it because she likes chaos. So I guess good TV has to come in somewhere on this trip. So Jackie, so the girls have to settle down for dinner and get changed up. And it's so funny. So as they go to dinner, they have another, like, some Congo dancers. One was Diablo and some other ones. And, Wendy was asking the guy that runs the establishment, like, what does it represent, the different outfits and all of that. And he was like, oh, it's just Congo dancers, but basically the devil is trying to get them, so on and so forth. And Karen said, yes, there's darkness among us. Yes, there is a devil here. And she's referring to Jacqueline. And I was like, ooh. And Karen goes straight into Karen. She's like, I'm sorry, Karen goes straight into Jacqueline. She's like, you showed up to my place trying to pull a stunt, and I'm not having it. I'm looking into getting charges pressed for trespassing. You showed up to my home, and that's not cool. Gizelle had her back and basically said the same thing. She's like, you showed up to her home with that stuff. It's not cool. She said, I didn't know that that's what you was doing with the 8 balloons, talking about citation, and Jackie trying to convince everybody she came in love and it was supposed to be a release of the charges and this, that, and the other. And it wasn't. Jacqueline, you a bird brain, and you need to stop letting Mia pump you up. And it was like, well, how does she know where I even live? She was like, Mia must have gave her the address. Mia was like, I did not. But they all said Mia was in cahoots and trying to set up with the bullshit. So then Gizelle also tells Jacqueline that wasn't the energy, that love and light you talking about. That's not the energy that you brought. It was very much rah-rah. And Karen was so over it. And because of all of that, Karen, again, she reiterates, I take my family security very important, and I'm looking up because it's illegal to release balloons into the air because of global warming. Baby, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at Karen. It was like, Karen, you had a balloon release for your mom and dad. Like, cut it out. She was like, well, now it's illegal, and it's global warming. So next you have Gizelle getting onto Mia ass. And once Gizelle is like, we do not discuss children, and you brought up mine. Mia goes on to say how Gizelle prints her life as a highlight reel, as her girls are perfect. And Gizelle says, then they are. So be it. There's nothing you can do about it. What I basically post about my life is what I basically post about my life. And she said, her girls are teenagers and they're at the age where that kind of stuff is going to happen. She said it's on par for the course. And I do get it. It is silly teenage games. Mom is away. The kids are going to play. Like sneaking a boy in, that does happen. And Gizelle in her confessional makes a point to say that my girls in their teenage years are not Mia in her teenage years. So there you have it. So then Wendy decides to chime in. And she was like, well, when I brought up your daughter going to FAMU, you had so much vitriol for me. And Gizelle was like, well, we weren't talking at the time. And she was like, I consider me a friend, so I'm handling this situation differently. I was like, oh, okay then. Well, she muted Wendy's point. So Ashley then points out to me, well, the stuff that you show on your Instagram, we could say that's a highlight reel of your life that you're presenting. Everything is perfect too. And she was like, well, the difference is I don't want to be questioned about it. But Mia, you constantly coming to the group and complaining about what it is. So people are going to have questions, and I'm sure they do. Like you just said that Ink was going to break up with you because of Gordon, and then you posted the next day that how y'all all getting together and Gordon is pouring y'all drinks at the pool. Like, come on. People are going to question that. Let's like be fucking for real. So then Jacqueline jumps in. She was like, Mia's just going through a lot and people just don't understand it. Then Mia gets on her soapbox and talks about how she grew up in foster care and how all of the mothers in her life she wishes happy Mother's Day to. All of the fathers in her life she wishes happy Father's Day to. So her life she was raised in a non-traditional manner, which I get and I understand. And then here comes the waterworks. And I'm like, this that bullshit. Now you getting called out on your shit and you realize what you saying is messed up. So now you want to turn the waterworks on. Now, granted, she did, grow up in foster care, but I'm not falling for with the alignment of the two because she's trying to use that as an excuse of her piss poor behavior and what she's been doing. So then she's like, basically, I'm going through a lot. My life is based on how Gordon is feeling with his mental health, and how would you guys feel if you had to deal with that and this, that, and the other. So she got him with that. They were like, Wendy's like, oh, I'll meet you where you are. I'm not going to kick you where I'm down. Karen and Gizelle, everybody else felt sorry for me, but she didn't apologize for what she did. Did she apologize? Let me know in the comments. She ain't apologized for bringing that woman kids up. That's what tells me Mia gonna go back and do the same thing. So the night ends. They go back to the villas. They wake up in the morning. Jacqueline is trying to take a picture. Karen is not dealing with Jacqueline. Jacqueline has to ask the staff in the house to take the picture. Ashley is looking like, oh my God, I'll take the picture, girl. And then Karen says, you know what? Just give me the phone. I'll do it. Karen tries to take the picture. Karen says, look, I'm going to extend the olive branch to her and maybe she can get back in my good graces. And I'm like, you going to put a hold on the trespassing charges? So the next scene, we see Mia crying to Jacqueline. Mia stated that she dropped her kids off at the nanny, now, which is Jacqueline's people, I'm assuming, because they were at Jacqueline's house. So that's Jacqueline's aunt. They used to keep the kids. Gordon picks them kids up from there. Mia says takes them across state line, which the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, very close, okay? She said he takes them across state line and takes them to the other nanny's house. And my thing is, well, why you pick them kids up from where they were comfortable at and you didn't keep them just to take them to another nanny house? So Mia's upset because she can't get in touch with Gordon because she doesn't really know where the kids at. But you just said he took them to another nanny house. So what do you mean? And she's all upset and the episode comes to an end. So guys, let me know what you think of this recap. This is The Fly Aunt, Ebony Ivory. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are alerted when I drop another recap. And Auntie loves you. To the next recap. Bye-bye.